what's up, everybody? How are ya? Happy New Year to ya. Welcome to 2026. Welcome to the final season of NFL football, Week 18, and also the season finale of the Touchdown Talk. That's right. This is our season finale today, and we are going to be recapping our fantasy football season in both our leagues, the LOMP League and the Dirt League, as well as going through some of our MVPs, league MVPs, and biggest bust of the year. I am joined by, in dramatic fashion,
Good morning.
I am joined by my co-host, Mr. Pablo Martinez, my co-host of the Touchdown Talk, as he's getting ready to go here. You know, it's a new year, so he's we got a lot going on here. Oh, listen, this is our season finale, so we never said we're a professional show. We just said we're a show. So here he is, Mr. Pablo Martinez, joining us live right here on the air. My co-host, your fantasy football guru. What's up, buddy? Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, Chris. Happy New Year, everybody out there. We are in 2026. This is January 3rd.
This is it.
Here we are, looking back at our wonderful and super entertaining 2025 fantasy football season. What a year, 2025.
Yeah, really. I mean, what an entertaining year. What a crazy year for fantasy football. Anybody out there who's obviously played, because otherwise you wouldn't really be watching the show, you knew what a crazy year it was. Lots of injuries, lots to overcome. A lot of who you thought was going to be an MVP turned out to maybe be a bust, a disappointment, didn't score the points that you wanted them to score. A lot of expectation. If you think back going into our draft, really anybody's draft, a lot of high expectations. Everybody excited about their drafts, getting their we play Yahoo Fitness here. Everybody getting their Yahoo grades. Not that means anything at all. And it's amazing to see, all that excitement at the start of the season quickly fade away by the time you get to, midway through the fantasy football season. But, so we've got it. We talked to our leagues, and we got lists from them who they thought was their biggest, MVPs, fantasy MVPs, and then biggest disappointments, and, maybe folks that they regretted drafting. So we're going to go through that. Of course, we're also going to talk about how our two leagues shook out, who was victorious, who went home with their head in their hands, and who finished last and got is getting their Sacco Awards, their consolation trophies, all that. And also talking about where the stage is set for our drafts going in to the 2026-2027 season. So we got a lot to cover in this final episode of the Touchdown Talk. So I want to thank everybody once again for watching and listening. If you are watching, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're over on YouTube, so that way you get notified when we go live. Right now, this show's been operating on my personal YouTube channel. This may look a little differently by the time we go live next year. I may just switch this whole thing over to Touchdown Talk. I don't know. We got to figure this out because I know it's been a little confusing for people. We didn't actually expect people to watch us on YouTube, but they have been. And so we will probably do something a little different for 2026, 2027, so that way it's a little bit more easy to find us on YouTube. Of course, though, we do have a Facebook page, so you can watch us over there. And we also want to thank our radio sponsors here, where the show is syndicated audio over on Radio Garden State, which you can listen to at RadioGardenState.com, the Odyssey app, or the TuneIn app. And, of course, you can listen to this show afterwards anywhere you get podcasts. So we are on every streaming platform, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, I don't know, all of them. Look up the Touchdown Talk, and you will see us come up. So you can also listen to us there as well. But man, oh man, Pablo, what a freaking season. Holy cow.
It was. As you were talking about some of these players that we drafted and that we were excited about, and that didn't pan out, or other players that maybe, we didn't have such high expectations, but really turned into some really significant contributors, MVPs even.
Yeah.
There's a lot to break down here. There are a lot of managers out there, as myself, who I'm sure will probably be steering away from drafting certain players again.
Yes, 100%.
After you've been burnt once, maybe twice, maybe even more, there comes a point where it's just, healthy to just say, okay, enough. I can't. You can be successful with someone else, but I can't commit anymore.
Right. You can break up with a player. I mean,
Right.
I
Right.
get that.
Exactly.
I know exactly who I'm breaking up with, who I will never draft again, although I should never say never, but I am not drafting again, at least in next year's draft for sure. So we're going to go through all this, but I guess let's start with, listen, let's just recognize it. Who won out in our two leagues, because everybody's that's been following as we've been doing these shows knows we've been talking about our two leagues that we're both in. Your co-commissioner of both those leagues, the LOMP, which is the League of Extraordinarily Mediocre People, and the Dirt Invitational. So in the League of Extraordinarily Mediocre People, the LMP League, I thought I had it in the bag. I was racing towards the championship. Against my brother. My team was Goff My Lawn. My brother's team was Swift Kick in the Pits. And my frickin' brother won by 2 points. And he is the LOMP League championship. And I couldn't be any more pissed off.
Such an exciting turn of week 17. Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss, my friend. You had a really, really great season. You led the league for the most part all year round, and you came short by like 3 points into a Monday night game that had so many different elements to it, where Stafford was your quarterback in the last drive of the game, had the opportunity to win you the title right there, and it just didn't.
So many
didn't
BS
happen.
penalties. This game was a terrible game to begin with. It was officiated poorly, but the Rams played garbage. Stafford looked like Temu Matt Stafford. But I'm going to tell you what really killed me, and I knew it. I felt good but Christmas Day, Jared Goff, who the name of my team is taken after, Jared Goff had a pretty, he had an up and down season, but still came through from a fantasy perspective, put up probably the worst game of his career on Christmas Day, and only getting me, I think, 8 or 9 fantasy points. Looked awful, had 3 or 4 turnovers, god awful. Talking about players I will never draft again, Jared Goff is on my kill list. I will never draft Jared Goff ever again. He is dead to me.
He's the guy, huh?
He's dead to me. Jared Goff is done. It's over. I had him last season, and he was a guy who had a great season last year with the Detroit Lions. Helped me get in the playoffs last year, and still didn't get it done there. This year, when I needed him most, when I needed him more than any time in the world to come up with a performance, he did not. He fell flat, and for that, he is dead to me. No more Jared Goff on my fantasy football teams. Someone else could take him. He's dead to me.
I understand.
Gone.
And his season was pretty decent. He actually did have a good season. It's just that in that one game, the Super Bowl, he had the
Super Bowl
worst game of the year.
He blew it. He blew it. He's gone. I will not draft him again. And that is it. I will be moving on to another quarterback for next year, or at least because we have a super flex league, so he is gone. My brother, of course, in all his luck, again, puts in Brock Purdy, and Brock Purdy delivers 2 back-to-back outstanding performances that Brock Purdy will never probably be able to replicate in his life again. That was it. He shoot a shot. He's done, Brock Purdy, but against me, it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So screw you, Brock Purdy. I hate you.
So, looking back at the rankings for quarterbacks for the season, right? In this league that we're in, LOMP, Superflex, and with the scoring system that we have, Matt Stafford led the league at the quarterback position. So you had him on your team, and Jared Goff was actually 6th on the year. So in all, his season wasn't terrible, but I get it. In that when you needed him the most, it didn't help you out. So I understand completely where you're coming from, my friend.
And Ken coming in, loss of Ben Johnson possibly affected Goff. No, absolutely. Because look what Ben Johnson's done with the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears were the laughingstock of the league last year, and now they're going to the playoffs. So definitely you could see where the loss of Ben Johnson affected the entire Lions offense this entire year. And you could definitely see Jared Goff was a little lost without Ben Johnson. But still, no excuse for putting up the performance that he did on Christmas Day and screwing my fantasy championship.
7 points is a tough one to overcome.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, Ken Ventry, definition of insanity is being in a league where the commission wins it every year. Just kidding, bros. Great season. You know what, Ken? You make a great point. Screw Kevin. And he wins every year. And the entire league was rooting against you, Kevin, just so you know.
That tends to happen, right? You've seen that even with the Kansas City Chiefs. At first it was like, oh, finally a team that's gonna go out there and compete and not let the Pats win. And now it's like, okay, again the Chiefs. Again, people get tired of it. So good for you, Kevin. I do want to give a shout out to Kevin. 4th title in 6 seasons.
Yep,
that is pretty remarkable. So well done, my friend. And sometimes you need a little bit of that. You need a little bit of that dose of luck too, because again, had Stafford come through at the end of that Monday night game, the title would have went the other way, and it just worked out for Kevin this time.
It worked out for Kevin, as it always does, and whatever. No, congrats, Kevin, on winning the stupid belt. I hate you. I hate you, and I love you. I hate you, but I love you. So let's talk real quick about how our consolation bracket shook out, because in this league, we did finally decide that last place, the loser of the consolation, would get a penalty. We delivered a Sacco Award. And that would happen to be last year's league champ. It's amazing. You go from first to last. This is how fantasy works. And that would be the owner of the team, which is
Super
Wayne's
Lamario.
Team, Super Lamario Brothers.
Yeah.
He lost in the consolation and is now in last place. And he is getting the Sacco Award. Sorry, Wayne.
Yeah, for any other fantasy players out there who want to share what they do with their consolation brackets, I actually like what we did this year. I like it a lot.
I think we did was good.
We switched up to make the consolation bracket fight for 2026 draft positions.
Yeah,
and the winning team of the consolation bracket, the team that ended up in 7th place, was Willie's team. Go suck a Dak. He won the first overall pick.
Yes,
and that's pretty cool because you're playing for something that's pretty significant. And in addition to ending in last place in the league, Super Lamario got the 6th overall pick for next year's draft.
Yeah, no, this is. I like how we did this year. I think this is a good way and a fair way too of doing the draft orders now. Not that the other way wasn't fair, but I think that this, like we said, this gives everybody something more to play with if you don't make the playoffs. And I think this is great because it makes you want to keep playing instead of just giving up and letting everything happen and all that. Now you do have something to play for beyond the playoffs. You play for a draft position, which, hey, man, getting the first overall pick, getting those top 5 picks is pretty crucial. I actually picked, I think, number 7 this year. And listen, I made it to the championship. So just because you get the first pick doesn't necessarily mean you're sealing the deal to the championship. But I do like that this gives the bottom teams, the bottom 6 teams, a chance to get some really good players that maybe normally wouldn't have been available to them if we drafted in the, hey, you draft where you finish, old model, right?
Right.
And I think that this is a good addition to our league this year.
Last season, we did have a lot of fun with the Gruden cameo. That was fantastic.
That was amazing. The Gruden cameo was amazing. And we can still do that this year, I think. It'd still be fun to do. Just to have the announcement of the draft order could be fun to still do.
Very, very fun. So fantastic. So in this league, let's recap then all 12 of our positions. Our LOEMP league ended up with, let's see here, I'm pulling it up on my screen. Swift kicking the pits, taking the title. Goff My Lawn ended up runner-up. Bark at the Moon was the happy winner of the 3rd place spot. That would be my team. Then Keith's Cool Team ended up 4th. Manja Magic 5th. and Team Keg ended up in 6th spot. So these teams, just to recap, will be at the end of the draft. And I don't recall, I'm sure we talked about it, and I'm sure in our chat we have it in writing somewhere, but I can't remember if we're going to do reverse order for those teams, meaning like Kevin Swift kicking the pits gets last pick in the draft, or if he just goes into 7th. Like, I can't remember that part, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I can't remember that part either if we're doing that. But, oh, here we go. Ken's coming in. Ken's coming in. I think that he's adding into this. Okay, I think the number 1 pick is great if you package that with a great keeper, adds a 1-2 punch right out of the gate. Of course, you could blow it by drafting Joe Burrow or Jefferson. Yeah, I mean, and that's something to talk about. We're gonna get into that MVPs of the season and biggest disappointments of the season and players you regret drafting. And by the way, if you are watching this, let us know. Who is your biggest regret? Who is your MVP? Who was a complete bust for you this season? We want to know. Also, let us know, too, how did your season pan out? Did you make the playoffs? Did you not? And we'd love to hear about, too, what you guys do for your last place. What's your penalty? Do you have a penalty? What do you not do anything? We'd love to hear what you guys do for your last place and all that stuff. So, yeah, but I don't know. That's a good question, Pablo. And if anybody from our leagues out there watching, let us know what we kind of decided on that. Does it go that way where you finish first, you draft last? I can't remember if that's what we decided on.
I'm sure we talked about it. I just don't remember.
I'm sure we did too. Yeah.
But Ken brings up a really good point too. This is a keeper league too, so evaluating who you want to keep, and then if you hit on that draft pick and the keeper, now you've gotten off to a really, really strong start. It's always, there's a little bit of luck there because for those managers who drafted Joe Burrow or Justin Jefferson, you didn't do anything wrong, man. You took the right player. That was the right pick. It just didn't work out. Injuries, of course, is something you can't predict. And I know you said, Chris, we're going to talk about that more now, but Justin Jefferson, that's the most mind-blowing player of the year for me because he wasn't injured. He was on the field every week, yet he was still a non-factor.
They just could not get him the ball. I mean, when you look at Minnesota's quarterback play this entire season, J.J. McCarthy did not have a great season. Didn't look good. At one point you had Carson Wentz out there slinging the football around. Then at the end, which again, this Christmas Day game, which is something that Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions should have completely easily handled. They lost, got beat up by the 3rd-string quarterback, who I think he had 2 completed passes or something like that the entire game, and they still lost. Unbelievable, Minnesota. But this goes now directly to Justin Jefferson. Like, he did not, because they could not get him the ball. If there's one thing Minnesota need to do, get Justin Jefferson the ball. Get him the ball. That's it. That's your game plan. And they couldn't do it. And therefore, if you were a Justin Jefferson manager all season, you now know what the definition of insanity is, because you're just like, how can you not get your best playmaker the ball? And they couldn't, and you couldn't get any fantasy points because of it. But you were afraid to drop him. You didn't want to bench him because he's Justin Jefferson. And every week you're like, is he going to have that game? Is he going to have that game? And he just never had that game all season long. Unbelievable.
He was the ideal trade candidate because of the name. He still holds tons of value, and many of us believed in him. I'm sure multiple teams would have wanted to trade for him, but it's hard to part ways with a guy like that. His first half of the season wasn't that terrible. He was always in the teens. He even had a 20-something point game. His second half of the season dropped off with many, many single-digit games. Ended up as the wide receiver 25 on the year, which for a first-round pick to draft a wide receiver 2 or worse, wide receiver 2/3, that's not what you want. That's not what you need.
No, not at all. It's not what you need. And, because this is a guy, when we talk about going back to the draft, you were drafting him in the first round. I mean, if he fell to you, you were taking him. He went fast, and he should have. He's Justin Jefferson. He's one of the best receivers in the league right now. I mean, last season, outstanding. And you also had Sam Darnold throw him the ball. But still, he had an outstanding season last year. So if you drafted him, you had high expectations. Unfortunately, it just didn't go that way at all, and it just has to speak to Minnesota's terrible quarterback play the entire season.
Yeah, but let's see if 2026 brings something a little different. I do believe that that elite type of player will eventually find a way. It's all about the organization too, though. We saw it with other players, like sometimes switching teams helps a lot. I hope that's not what it takes for Justin Jefferson, but we'll see
Yeah.
what happens this year.
Yeah, and once again, guys, if you're just tuning in now, let us know who is your fantasy MVP and who is your biggest bust of the season. We'd love to hear from you because that's what we are diving into right now. So, Justin Jefferson, definitely high on the list as far as a bust that you wanted to perform and just didn't because of Minnesota's terrible quarterback play. Here's another name that came up as a bust for the year and a regret was Calvin Ridley. This was one that Ken said. He said he completely regrets drafting Calvin Ridley this year, and I don't think he's alone in that sentiment for anybody that did pick him up or draft him. He didn't go. I don't think Calvin Ridley wasn't a first-round pickup if I remember. He was
Fourth round.
fourth round. So, but that's a guy that Ken is saying was a regret of his drafting
Yeah,
him.
definitely. Yeah, Tennessee as a whole was pretty tough to
Yeah.
deal with, and Ridley was not great at all.
Yeah. Another bust. Let's talk about this one. This is a big name for a lot of people, including our former champ, now bottom of the league, champ of the losers, Lamar Jackson. Wow. Lamar Jackson. Horrible fantasy season.
Yeah, he definitely tanked. He tanked as a fantasy player. He tanked fantasy teams.
Yeah.
It was. I'm sure that there are very few, if not just none, fantasy teams out there with championships that had Lamar. I mean, he cost so much to acquire, whether it was in the draft or via trade,
Yeah.
that you probably gave up a lot and didn't really have enough to offset that to make it to the championship.
Yeah, really, really disappointing season if you picked up Lamar on your team. And I think one of these, you kept hoping, and it just never came. And if you did try to draft him, hopefully you drafted him early enough where you maybe got something back. But as the season waned on, it was probably definitely hard to kind of trade for him because I think the writing was on the wall for his season. So what about CMC? Do you feel like he's another name that's come up? He's definitely someone who's drafted very, in some leagues, he was still the number one pick or, in the top 5 picks in the first round. Would you consider him an MVP or would you consider him a bust on this fantasy season, Pablo?
No, MVP for sure.
Yeah.
He led the league in points at the running back position. He was healthy. That's the real highlight of Christian McCaffrey's season is that he was healthy and he was playing, I think, every single game of the year. So he did outstanding. He definitely paid off on his draft price. So for sure, one of the MVPs this 2025 season.
Yeah, absolutely. Now here's a name that you put as someone you regretted drafting. Tony Pollard. I see this. Regret drafting Tony Pollard. And we did talk a little bit about this on last week's show too. Pollard, not the season I think anybody thought he was going to have. I think they thought he would do okay in Tennessee. But once again, it didn't happen. I mean, Tennessee's just a bad football team, but you thought maybe they'd lean on him and he'd pick up some good points, but it just never materialized for him this season.
No, it didn't work out. Yeah, he ended up being a back end running back 2 on the year with many single point games. He eventually found some success towards the end of the season, but he never really solidified his role. When Tajay Spears, for example, was healthy, they were splitting 50-50. Like that Pollard that we all remember from Dallas was not the Pollard we got this year, and
Nope.
Just makes me wonder what's going to happen going forward with Tony Pollard. Is that guy ever going to be that fantasy player that we'll get again, or maybe that's that was that season, and that's it.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, with running backs, it's tough, right? I mean, we've seen running backs have a couple bad seasons, and then all of a sudden, their last season, if they're fighting for a contract, or maybe it's going to be their last season, they put up a good performance just because they want to go out with some good stats. So you just can't tell with running backs. I mean, they do take a beating, they do wear down really fast. I mean, let's talk about another running back that was a first round pick on everybody's lists, very high too. Possibly in some drafts, the number one pick, Saquon Barkley. Now, not that he was terrible, but if you thought he was going to have the same fantasy season he had last year, you are probably slightly disappointed. But I wouldn't say I wouldn't go as far as to say Saquon was a bust if you had him on your fantasy team. But I don't know if he was the MVP that you wanted him to be. I guess he's kind of right there in the middle. Didn't necessarily disappoint, but didn't necessarily like set the world on fire on your team. You know, like he couldn't carry your entire team this season.
No, he didn't. He was still decent. I mean, he ended up being a back end running back one, and I think that obviously that's not what we drafted him to be. And no. I think in my personal opinion, this reminds me so much of what we've seen so many times in the past with running backs that break that 2,000 mark the previous season or get close to it.
Sure.
When I forget the other guy's name right now. That was on the Titans as well. 2K, I forget.
Derrick Henry?
No, not Henry.
Oh, no, Derrick.
There was another guy. The name will come to me. But
okay.
After such a monster season where there's so much wear and tear on the running back, I don't think I remember seeing a back-to-back season. Like the following season is typically always guaranteed to be less.
Yeah.
So when we come into that following year's draft with that memory of, oh, this guy just broke 2,000 yards, we need to keep in mind that that's not going to happen again and that there will be a dip. So that top value that we have in our minds is probably not going to come through. I mean, I don't blame anyone for taking him in the first round, but I'm not exactly tremendously surprised that he didn't end up being an MVP or a top 5 back this year.
Yeah, I mean, where do you think? I mean, I think next year in the draft, I mean, do you still think Saquon Barkley goes in the first round, or do you think he's going to fall to a second round pick?
So it depends on draft settings. Depends on league settings in terms of position.
And I guess if he's a keeper too. I mean, in our league we have a keeper, and he may be kept again, and so he may be off the board.
Sure, but I want to say, like in a super flex league where quarterbacks tend to go a little bit higher, Barkley, I would think that he might go more likely in round 2 than in round 1.
Yeah,
I can think of a handful of other running backs that I might want to be tempted to take ahead of Barkley, and considering some of the elite wide receivers too, and some of the quarterbacks, maybe he does fall out of round 1.
Yeah, like I got to be honest, and I'm wearing his number right now. Like I would probably take a Cam Scatterboo over a Saquon Barkley right now. If the two of them were on the board and it fell to me, I would probably choose Scat over Saquon at this point.
Very good, very good. I wish Scatterboo the best recovery possible and to come back as strong as ever. I am glad you brought him up, though. I do have some concerns, and many of us out there have expressed our opinions on his gameplay and how awesome, but how aggressive it is.
Can
and
he
how
stay healthy?
Right. It comes at a toll. Like if you, as a rookie, don't learn how to adapt to the pros and learn how to play smart, you're going to find yourself injured maybe more often than you really want to. So hopefully Scatterboo can figure that out.
Yeah, hopefully too. I mean, listen, he's rehabbing. He seems like he's rehabbing well. And I'm sure whoever comes in as the new coach or new regime at the Giants will definitely be working with him. I mean, it is exciting to have him and Jackson Dart as part of your offensive, plan. But the two of them together, like great, fun to watch. But man, they really gotta adapt to the style of the NFL, because otherwise they're gonna have very short careers, because you're playing against men who have been playing in this league for a long time, and their number one job is to basically kill you on the field. And Jackson Dart, great. I love that he's got the legs, but man, he's got to learn how to be smarter with that. And the Scat, he's got a great as a fan, we love watching it. It's exciting, but can he keep up that level of play? And he's gonna have to learn to adapt, as you said. And we don't want to see the guy injured, because then from a fantasy standpoint, if he's constantly getting injured, he's not scoring points in IR.
Right. Right.
Same thing with Jackson Dart. Hey, it's great if you got him on your team. He got you some good fantasy points. But if the guy can't finish a whole season, play the whole season, then from a fantasy perspective, he's not helping you win your championship.
I think they do figure it out. I think they came in, they were rookies, they were excited. They wanted to show that they had what it takes, and they do. That we all saw it.
They proved themselves for sure.
Yeah. Oh, guaranteed. They guaranteed a spot on the team, a significant, relevant place. And I think that next year, they'll be coached. They'll be working hard to try to improve their game. They'll step up.
Yeah. So let's talk about another great player who I think was a little bit of a dark horse this season. I mean, definitely on people's radars to watch, but the season he wound up having, I think, was a lot better. I think it exceeded expectations if you had this player in your team. And I am talking about JSN, Jackson Smith-Njigba, from the Seattle Seahawks. Him and Sam Darnold with that Rice, Montana-like connections going on. But seriously, from a fantasy perspective, I think this was a guy everybody expected to do okay. I feel like he exceeded expectations and became a league MVP all around in many leagues. I mean, how do you feel about that?
For sure. No, guaranteed. I'm definitely very biased because I had him in
you did have him
in the Dirt League. And
I mean, you made playoffs. Wonderful. He helped you get into playoffs.
Yeah, he was wonderful to have on your team. He was unexpected to me to be so significant. I'm kind of trying to search for him now to see where he went. He went in round 3 in our LOEMP league.
So, yeah, round 3 pick. That's a great pick that's a great pickup in round 3 of Jackson Smith-Njigba, for sure.
Yeah, ended up wide receiver 2 on the season, just a couple of points behind Puka, but still led one of those MVP players, like you said. I think he definitely was one of the better picks. He was healthy. He was the go-to guy on his team. When he first came out as a rookie and went to a team that had DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, there were some concerns about whether he's going to have room, whether he's that good. His first season wasn't so great, but now that he's left there as the main receiving reference, he's really stepped up.
He really is that guy. Yeah, he is definitely the guy, and him and Sam Darnold have really got some good chemistry. And I got to tell you, watching. This was a good indication of how good of a team Seattle is that game they played against the Rams. And everybody, Sam Darnold really needed to prove himself because Seattle was down heavy in that game against the Rams. And that was basically a playoff caliber game. It was the battle for first place in the conference. And they won the big game. Sam Darnold won the big game after kind of seeing him collapse. So good on them, but I got to tell you, it's going to be exciting to watch Seattle through these playoffs. And they are. I didn't think they were at the start, but I feel like they could be a real contender to make it into the Super Bowl. They what they're showing me right now, they're a hot team. They are a hot team. If any team in the NFC should be scared of the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, they definitely are. And one of the dilemmas that you had on your team with the running backs, you had Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet.
And Sharp.
But if you think about it, for football purposes, they're both healthy. They're both doing well. And alongside, they're just more weapons. I think that team could really go the distance.
I think they could. I'm rooting for Seattle. I'm rooting for Seattle in this, but
very good. Going.
So I like this. We got a question here.
All right.
From the pastor on Twitch here, and thanks for watching. I love this fantasy football championship going down to the final week of NFL action. These guys going right down to week 18. Love to see it. When most leagues have ended, this league still seems to be going. So his question is, second game of the championship down by 5 points, full PPR. He's got 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Players he's asking for are Gibbs, Chase Brown, Trayvon, Bucky, Mason, Jaden Blue, Pickens, Diggs, Tet McMillan, BTJ, and Parker Washington.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Down by 5 points, man. I feel you because I was in my championship. I lost by like 2 points, 3 points. So this is crucial. You need to get guys in here who are going to get you points. That's all this is about. Get the points. Get the
Yeah.
points. So who are guys on this lineup that are going to get you points? Definitely a Chase Brown.
You would expect that to happen, yeah. And you know what it is too. It's really interesting. You know, I don't play in any leagues that have any Week 18 activity, but I
Yeah.
like the format here. We got a championship game that lasts 2 weeks.
Yep.
So week 17 and 18, they also count points for whatever you can get. It's tough to play week 18 because a lot of players may be rested. A lot of teams might be out of it already.
Yeah.
So it's really, really difficult to know what you can bank on. But let's see. So Chase Browns with the Bengals. The Bengals are out of contention.
They're out of contention.
So I want to say we'll probably still see Chase Brown on the field quite a bit. Gibbs also on a team that is no longer playing for a playoff opportunity. I might say I'll probably go with Travion just because the Pats are certainly going to try to push for that number 1 overall.
I think so for sure. Yeah, I would definitely put him in over. I would put him in. I would play him over Bucky.
Yeah, so this is actually hard because of the fact that not everybody has anything to play for. So my thoughts are definitely Diggs and Travion. Get those Patriots in there.
Yeah. I do like Pickens because Pickens is in a I think he only has a 1 year. Does he have a 1 year with Dallas? So he's playing for a contract either with Dallas or another team. I think.
I think you're right. I think
and
he
they're
does have
playing
a
the
1
Giants,
year.
and they love to beat the Giants. They love beating on the Giants.
I don't know that Pickens is going anywhere. I mean, he shouldn't. I can't imagine. You know, the team owner there, Jones. I can't imagine him letting him go. With how important he was this year for the team,
Yeah.
to play opposite of CeeDee Lamb, opening up the field. Like, I don't know. I think he should definitely stay there. So, but I agree with you. I would play Pickens. Just watch to see, you know, how active he'll be.
Right.
If the team's announced anything on whether they'll play him or not. But I would say maybe, I don't know,
Parker Washington,
as a flex.
potentially. I mean, over in Jacksonville, right?
Oh, for a second wide receiver, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's been great. Definitely, we got BTJ there. BTJ had a really down season overall.
He didn't have a great season.
He played well for stretches, but wasn't really like the dominant wide receiver that we saw last year.
From fantasy perspective, you know, once again, you're down by 5 points here. I like this. You just think points, all about points.
Yeah.
Don't go on emotion. Go by strictly the facts. Who's going to get you the points you need to win your championship? Like that's all it comes down to.
It's super hard to guess here, but I would say if it were my team, I would probably not feel confident putting Gibbs on the field, knowing that they're out. They're not really going to take a chance in getting him injured or anything like that. So he's probably not going to see a full allotment of snaps. So let's see. So running backs then.
2 running backs.
We agree with Travion.
Yep, I agree with Travion, and I think I would do Chase Brown.
Right.
I know it's kind of where I feel like, I mean, he's gotten points. He'll play. Jaden Blue, I don't think is going to get much going on. Bucky, Tampa's kind of, you know,
they're still fighting. Yeah, but he's not been great. So I get you though.
No, and if they go down, they're going to be passing. They're going to be passing.
Yeah. So Chase Brown and Travion. What about our 2 wide receivers then? Diggs and Pickens.
Diggs and Pickens would be my first 2. Followed by Parker Washington
in the flex.
All
right.
That's kind of where I feel. Yeah.
The passer. Hope this helps you out. Good luck with your championship, my friend.
Good luck with your championship. Hopefully you blow out your opponent and win by a large margin. Wishing you luck. All right. So let's and let us know, guys. Once again, if your fantasy season's done, let us know who your MVPs were, some of your biggest busts on the season. Another MVP I want to just touch on here is Puka Nakua. I mean, we talked about Matt Stafford a little bit. I had Matt Stafford, definitely for me, MVP. For me on my team, my season, other than the last game of the season where I lost by, I needed him to be the Matt Stafford from the week before and drop 40 points. That didn't happen. But for the most part, the entire season, he to me was an MVP. And him and Puka had some kind of special relationship going, man. And boy, oh boy, if you had the two of them together on your team, you had a great fantasy season. Had Stafford, did have Puka. I wish I had Puka, but man, Puka MVP, I'd say.
Yeah, I still think about the 50 burger he dropped on me when you and I faced each other in the semifinals.
Oh my God, yeah, unreal.
Such a dominant performance. Yeah, definitely a wonderful player to have on your team. MVP, led the league at the wide receiver position. Fantastic to have. Looking back to see if he was a first round pick, he probably was, maybe first or second. Actually, he went in the round 2. So you traded for Puka, it looks like, because he was drafted by Josh Grudy McGrudenface.
Yeah, I did.
Oh no, you didn't. No,
yeah, I was going to
you
say I
had
didn't have
Stafford.
Puka. I had Stafford. I took him very late, I believe, and I remember everybody laughing or not being like, "I can't believe he took Stafford." I'm like, I'm telling you guys, he's gonna be good. I know everybody was saying stay away from him with the back stuff, but I'm like, I don't know, man. I believe in Staff. I believe him, except for the last game of the season. But I believe that.
He did well. You know, I got confused there. It was Stafford who dropped about 50 points on me in the semis, but
Yep.
they both did great. But yeah, Puka was fantastic, and I would expect more of the same as long as Stafford is still in next season.
Yeah.
I don't see anything changing.
Which I think they will. I mean, listen, they're really going for it this year. Obviously, they see title. They have title eyes. They're looking at the title. We're probably going to have a repeat of that game in an AFC Championship game. It's probably going to be Rams and Seahawks duking it out for the Super Bowl, I think. At least that's the way I feel. So,
what about the Niners? I mean, the way McCaffrey's been playing, God bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think, I mean, the Niners could be there, but I mean, is Brock Purdy going to drop a 40-50 burger performance every single week? Is that going to happen? It's obviously going to get tougher and tougher for them as they get into the best of the NFC here. I don't know. I don't know if they're as strong of a team as the Seahawks or the Rams at this point. I don't know, but they are getting hot, so that is always scary. Hot teams are really difficult to beat, but I feel like Seattle's red hot too. So, I mean, I could see. I mean, I guess it's possible. I could see the 49ers and the Rams playing Seattle in the NFC Championship game. That's kind of where I see the stage being set then.
I definitely think it's going to be very, very interesting to watch the rest of the football season, this Week 18, and as well as the playoffs. It's shaping up to be a really, really fun season.
Yeah, and a couple other names I just want to throw out there real quick, and then we're going to move on a little. But some other names that came in when we polled our league on sleeper picks and picks that did well. Tina came in. She's got her sleeper picks. Theo Johnson was somebody that she picked as a sleeper pick. And she's like literally stepped through the whole entire season and then came on because she had drafted Kraft. And Kraft was hurt. And Theo Johnson kind of came on for her and helped her, get some points there at the end. So she's putting Theo Johnson as one of her sleeper picks in the tight end position.
Tina certainly knows how to pick those tight ends. She did great. Kraft was playing out of his mind before he got
Unreal.
injured.
He was playing
with
sick.
the season-ending knee injury. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Hopefully next year he can come back strong. But yeah, Tina definitely hit on several tight ends. Theo Johnson being one of them.
Yeah, and I think too, if we're talking about tight ends, Hawkinson. He from a tight end perspective, not somebody I think that had as good as a fantasy season as you thought he would have. when we talk about tight ends. Him, and then of course, geez, I drafted him too, and then he didn't want to play. And what's his name from the Lions? He was another real good draft pick.
Laporta.
Laporta did not have a good season.
Laporta got injured.
He got injured.
Yeah.
So he was somebody that, from a year before was a hot tight end pickup. But Hawkinson was somebody that was not did not have a good fantasy season.
Not at all. Not at all. No. And here is the champ.
Here's the champ. Here he is.
Blessed with the presence of William P. Champ.
Just kidding.
What's up, Kevin?
But not really.
that must be for yourself.
No, it's for you. It's for you, Mr. Champ. No, but seriously, congrats, Kevin, on your stupid championship.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks.
That was a lot of fun to watch on that Monday night. I gotta say, I told you guys we were on a group chat all night long.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
I was absolutely crazy.
Sitting on the couch just watching you two duke it out on the screen with that game. It was so much fun because it could have.
I didn't think there was anyway.
Like this close.
Yeah.
It really was. It was so crazy. I mean, even at the very end, any one of those completed passes would have put me over, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Are you kidding me? I can't believe this. Unbelievable. Really unreal.
Puka almost made an unreal catch, like unhuman,
just sick.
The fact that it was he almost brought that in is crazy enough. With one hand on the ball the whole time.
Yeah,
on top of the ball, nonetheless.
And we were just talking about Puka, like MVP of the league. He's definitely a league MVP. He's a great player. That if you picked him up, man, you did really well, or at least he did really well on your fantasy team.
I was watching a show the other day, and they're like, as good as Puka is, he's not on the field for 85% of all rushing plays and other plays as well. Like he was on the sideline so much, and I don't know if it's just them trying to preserve him because he gets hurt so often that they're like, all right, we'll get him in, get him his 10 catches, get him out for all the other plays, and that's it. But yeah, it's kind of crazy when I was looking at it, and they're showing off different film of him on the sideline. I'm like, wow, he's really not on the field that much.
Wow, that is crazy. I did not even realize that.
Yeah, for him to produce how he does, that's efficient.
Yeah.
He definitely was. So we were going through some lists of players, Kev. You missed a chance to catch up with us on some of them, but let's check in with you. What player is on your mind? Who would you highlight as the biggest bust of the year? Who would you want to highlight as the MVP, whether it was on your team or not, like MVP of the league?
Well, I feel like Kevin's MVP is Brock Purdy.
That was a good trade for me, the Brock Purdy trade.
That was a really good trade for you.
And all the trades I made, I didn't even get to use everybody all the time. Like the last 2 weeks of the season, I didn't get to use London or Bowers. But they all worked out in the spots that I needed them for the most part.
Yeah, I think no one's trading with you at all anymore, by the way. I think you have a trade embargo against you.
If you look back at the trade of me giving Tina Gainwell, and everybody's like, oh, that was shit. Look how well Gainwell wound up being.
No,
Gainwell was good.
Absolutely, yeah, he was very good. Yeah.
If he could have been more consistent like that for her in the middle of the stretch when she had 0 running backs, that could have pushed her over, maybe into that 6th seed.
It might have been. I mean, yeah, she got a little beat up on the running back side.
But I'd say my MVP, that's tough. I mean, yeah, Purdy, late stretch MVP. It's JSN definitely. Again, somebody I didn't draft but had JSN, and Pitts was consistent for me until I traded him. Pitts was very consistent for me throughout the year. I can normally get like 10 points out of him in the tight end spot where you never know what you're getting week to week unless you have Trey McBride, really. It's like you don't know what you're getting out of that position.
Very good.
And before that was Swift until I traded him away.
DeAndre Swift, he bust for you?
No. It was
MVP.
It was good. Bust. JJ McCarthy, 100%. I had.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot you had JJ McCarthy.
I was big on JJ. I was in 8 leagues. I drafted him probably in at least 6 of them. He's in my dynasty league as my quarterback. I had very high hopes. I know it was only preseason last year, but he looked awesome and sharp. But maybe he needs another year coming back from this injury. But they have that team has weapons. That team has but their offensive line was super hurt. He was on his back all the time. So it's definitely JJ who I had high hopes for.
Very good. Very good. Pitts, I wanted to highlight one thing. Pitts, as inconsistent as the tight end position is, ended up as the tight end 2 of the season.
And like I was saying, that he gave me the consistency. And I'm a Pitts truther, man. He came from Florida, and I draft that guy every year that I can. And I'm like, it's coming. His breakout's coming. And this year it was consistent. He
he's
a freak
have the
athlete.
one game that skewed everything, right? If you take that 40-point game out, that was probably the highest scoring tight end week
ever. Just about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he still did good though. He still was consistent.
He was fine. Like, I'm not saying he's a superstar. He's not Trey McBride, but I could get 10 points from him pretty good. And that's all kind of in that tight end spot. That's kind of all I'm looking for. All right, I'm hoping to hit that 10-point mark. That's kind of like my train of thought with that position.
Yeah.
One thing I want to highlight about what we were just joking about, that nobody wants to trade with you, Kevin, anymore because of how you keep winning, right? And you brought up, the Gainwell trade that didn't really work out in your favor because he ended up being so valuable. The one thing I want to highlight is how that proves that we're not always going to get every trade right. Okay, we're not, and that's okay. But we're going to get more. The more you make trades, the more you learn, the more you get a better feel for who to trade for, who not to trade for. And you're going to get more right than you get wrong. So even if you get a few wrong, you made the most trades in our league this season. And overall, that allowed you to add more value than other teams who didn't make as many trades. So I think that in part is a great reason why you won the league, because you were so active and did so well with that.
No, I agree. I mean, we talk about that all season long, trades.
My thought process behind it. So when I started making these moves, one, I was like, all right, my running backs aren't great, and I traded away a good running back for receiver. But then I'm like, all right, my receiving core is very solid. I was also trying to trade away players that I had coming up on bye. So I was trying to trade away Terrell McMillan for players that already had a bye. So I wanted those guys gone. As long as I'm getting equal value or similar, I wanted those guys off my team so I could use them down that stretch.
Right.
So that's very kind smart. Of a lot. That's also, once I used them and they, and I was like, all right, let me look to trade them off my team to get guys who already had their buys.
I'm going to say going forward next year, I definitely won't veto your veto is not the right word. I won't put you on the no trade list. I'll still be open to trade with you, but I'm gonna have to add like champion tax on your trades, man. If you want one of my guys, it's gonna cost you more than it would cost Chris or someone else. You know what I mean?
Champion. I like that champion tax.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pay up a little higher than most teams to get my players.
Yeah, I like the champion tax.
I did get favorable ones in certain spots, and other spots I did pay. I felt like I did pay a little more for things, but again, I paid for an injured player to work out down the line, and it did. I think I used him in like one regular season game.
Yeah, I think so. But he came on for you when you needed him.
Purdy. I didn't realize this until now. I'm just looking at the stats for the season. Purdy ended up as the quarterback 24 on the year.
Yeah.
Wow.
He didn't play a lot of games.
And right, exactly. He had a MVP caliber playoff run.
Yeah, he was hurt for a little bit.
Throughout the year, he missed several games, and he was a little bit hot and cold sometimes too.
Yeah, for a little bit too. Mac Jones was actually something for a little bit.
Mac Jones looked good, and it comes to, and if you have an offensive line that can protect you, you're gonna find your players. You're gonna find people get the ball to.
Yeah.
Coaches help scheme that up too.
Very good. All right, so where do we want to go next, guys? I know we have.
what we didn't do yet is we talked a little bit about the LOMP League. Obviously, we talked about who won that, how it shook out. Let's just quickly talk about the Dirt League, because we do talk about that league, and we didn't talk about who the champ was on there, in who won the Dirt League. And I got to tell you, the Dirt League, once again, it was a little bit of a dark horse. We had somebody who was in first place for pretty much almost the entire season.
Yeah.
And when it came to the championship, just could not clinch it. And we have a brand new champ in the Dirt League. So Pablo,
yes, we do.
How did this shake out?
So this had a really interesting 2025 season. Yeah, Ginger Ninja led the league for the most part, in first place all season long. Very similar to your season, my friend Chris.
Yeah, very similar to my season.
But in the big game, she ran into Manja, who had a decent year and just came in hot at the end. And in that Super Bowl, got the better part of the game and obtained her second championship in the Dirt League. Manja won the Super Bowl. Yep. Congrats, Manja.
That Manja magic, once again, guys. There it is, the Manja magic.
The Manja magic, and she won the title for 2025 and added her name to the trophy. Nameplates are being engraved as we speak, and two-time title winner now for the Dirt League, Manja.
Yeah, congrats to you, Manja, and congrats to Ginger Ninja for having such a great season as well. Heather, I sympathize with you being in first place for most of the season and falling short in the championship. I totally can sympathize. I was looking forward to having my first championship in this league, but I guess I got to wait more. And I know, and I don't know. And Pablo has the stats on this. Would this have been Ginger Ninja's first championship, or has she won before?
So in the Dirt League, this would have been her first.
In the Dirt League, yeah.
In the Dirt League, it would have been her first for sure.
Yeah.
And it did not pan out. So unfortunately for Ginger Ninja, that didn't work out. Fun fact, though, let's share this here.
Sure.
We, in a different league that both Manja and Ginger Ninja are in, that we don't cover on the show, Heather did come out with a championship. To my knowledge, I do believe that is her first fantasy football league title. So congratulations, Heather.
All right, congrats,
on coming out the champion of the Death by 1,000 Punts League.
That's a great name. That's a great name, Death by 1,000 Punts League.
That's she was in 2 championship games, came out with one of them, didn't really make it work out in both, but still had a really awesome season. So Ginger Ninja is definitely a contender from here on out, a team to be reckoned with. Great job, Heather.
Yeah, great job, Heather. And of course, we did talk about it. And in this league, in the Dirt Invitational League, there is a last place trophy for the loser of the consolation bracket. They get the not coveted poop trophy. That's right. It's a trophy. There it is. The poop trophy, guys. There it is, and it's not glory.
In Pablo's hands.
In Pablo's hands, waiting to be delivered and handed off to the new owner, which is...
The Sicilians earned the 2025 coveted poop trophy.
Tina, I am sorry.
Yeah, we are all very sorry about that. But listen, it's a game. Yeah. It's a sport. We got to be, good sportsmen, and it happens. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I happen to be visiting Show Me Your Touchdowns, and as the commissioner of the league, I said, let me take that off your hands, and I'm going to hand deliver it to the new recipients for.
They were more than happy.
Yeah. He was thrilled.
More than happy to part with the poop trophy. And that means the Sicilians, Tina, that must be displayed for all the world to see for one full year in your home. Not hidden behind things, and must be seen.
Yep.
She gets the number 1 pick next year, though. That's good.
But she does get the number 1 pick.
She does get the number 1 pick. Yeah, in this league, we choose our draft spot, so she gets to choose first. She gets any of the 12 picks she wants, whatever.
Unless she doesn't want it.
Yeah, unless she doesn't want it, but You know?
Well, we'll see how it goes, but
Yeah.
that's going to be interesting, and that's a fun little twist that we have for the Dirt League. I know we
Definitely.
talked about with Kevin Williams on the LOEMP League and some kind of a trophy as well. So
He has something.
TBD, more to come on that, but
He's putting it together.
Very good.
Yeah, hopefully he gets that, because I am anxious to see what that trophy looks like for the LOMP League.
We didn't really have any formal conversations about trophy presentations or to exchange the belt and maybe present the other last place. But maybe during January with the playoffs happening, we could get together at
I think a nice get together would be good to do all the exchanges and kind of celebrate the season. I think that'd be good.
Yep.
Yeah, I was seeing. Keep your ear out. I'm trying to see if I could work something out.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, that would be fun, especially with the playoffs coming up in the NFL. It'd be nice to hang out, watch a game, and pass along 100%. The trophy.
Yeah. Go Seahawks. Go Seattle Seahawks. So, all right, guys. Well, is there anything else you want to cover? Any last end of year stats that we want to share, or are we out of steam and we're done and we're wrapping this up?
Well, you have a question there on the right. Is that old or?
It is old.
Okay.
We answered that. If you want to answer, he may still be on. He might still be watching. So if you want to take a stab at it, I'll bring it back up here for anybody. There was a question here that Pablo and I answered from the pastor. He may still be on.
I'll recap it for you. It's a championship week. It's 2 weeks for the championship game. And
he is indeed still on, by the way. He just confirmed.
So in week 18, the pastor's down by 5 points. He needs to start 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex.
He is saying, real quick, he did add this on later on, Pablo. He said, out of 8 leagues, I've won 3 so far, and this is one that plays week 18.
Fantastic job.
Congrats to you on the pastor.
I hate the week 18, but good job. This
challenge, week 18. Not everybody plays. So what do you think?
Yeah.
Who would you start?
And you already hear it. There's a lot of teams sitting players. So looking at something like this, I mean, Jordan Mason, I think is good to go. Gibbs, Detroit wants to win. They've been playing like garbage, and they don't. You got the Bears going for a 2nd seed overall in the NFC. So something like this, I was looking for 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and a flex.
Yep.
So I go Gibbs, Mason, Pickens. I don't know if Diggs is playing after his arrest. Or the Chargers.
You know what? Good point. I actually forgot. I
didn't even think of that.
I completely forgot he was arrested. So he might not be playing, because we did say start Diggs, but I completely forgot about that. So he might not be playing because of that. That's true.
Yeah, Tet McMillan's playing for playoff seed, so Tet McMillan would be one that I want in there. If Diggs is playing, though, I do want him in because he's playing for some big money incentives right now. So for my recap, it's Gibbs, Mason, Diggs, Tet McMillan. So that covers 2 receivers, 2 running backs, and Pickens.
In the flex. A little bit different from what we came up with.
But if Diggs is not there, I am going with Parker Washington.
Okay.
All right.
We went with Washington over – Chris and I went with Washington over T-Mac. Tedero McMillan had a pretty bad week 17 game.
Oh yeah, so very.
Maybe he bounces back. Their team is in the fight for a playoff spot. So maybe
they need the win.
Maybe it's still a good chance for him to step up. But after last week, I kind of was like, nah, I don't think I would do that.
I get it, and I totally get it. It is. It's you get jaded by those performances. And he is a rookie, but they need this game. Do you want to make playoffs or not? Give it to your most talented players. Give it to Dowdle. Sure. Give it to McMillan.
Yeah.
It's you got to find them.
And
it's better. And you are always better though to throw on Tampa Bay than to run.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying. I said if they're, especially if they're going to be, if they start going down, they're going to be passing like crazy,
Yeah.
and kind of not doing the run as much. So I would not start Bucky.
Bucky's just been it's they should feed him because he is the best of the backs, but they're rotating with him and Sean Tucker, and so that's another
Yeah,
hard situation to trust.
yeah, yeah. I
Ask Ken
agree.
Williams. I mean, that was a
Yeah,
great keeper, awesome keeper looking pick for him, and then it's just like don't use him. That makes no sense, and that's
yeah, and
why
that's
this
a
team faltered.
yeah, and that's a great point too. We did talk a little bit about it. So before we get going here, in this league, in the LOMP league, we do have keepers. If you guys have keepers in your league, let us know who are you already eyeballing to be your keeper in your upcoming draft this summer, 2026. Let us know. My keeper this year was Jamar Chase, and I'm not going to necessarily say he was a bust. It's just because Joe Burrow barely played, and he really didn't have anybody to give him the ball. He had that great Joe Flacco game, and he came on a little bit hotter at the end of the season.
Definitely.
But Jamar Chase, I would probably, I don't know. I have to really look at my lineup here again and see. Would I keep a Jamar Chase again? I got to think about that actually. I don't know if I'm going to keep him again this year. Actually,
Well,
did we change this though? It's only a 1 year now instead of 2 year. Did we change that rule?
well, it's draft year. Then you keep them in the round that they're drafted, so that's their second year technically.
Yeah.
And then I think we said the third year was an automatic first round pick, right? Was
I
that it?
think we had gone at the start of the season last year. We talked about having a player be a keeper only 1 year, and then he had
Yeah.
to go back. But we also talked about
Oh,
some
that's
other
what
rule changes.
that's what it was.
Trading picks maybe and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I'm sure we could talk about that more. I do like the fact that you brought it up, Chris. Early
Yeah.
keeper thoughts. It doesn't have
Right.
to be
Yeah.
set in stone, but I'd
Yeah.
like to hear from each of you and share with you mine. What do you think? Who do you think you would pick? Without spending a ton of time. Like
Yeah.
just look at your team, but who comes to mind as the MVP of your team that you think you might want to hold on to for next season?
I mean, looking at my team, I mean, like I said, I already had Jamar Chase as my keeper. So, looking at who I would maybe keep, I mean, Stafford was definitely my MVP, but who knows if he's going to call it a season? You know, he may retire after the season. I don't know. I guess let's see how far he's going to take the season. If he goes all the way up, he wants to win a Super Bowl. He wants to win another Super Bowl before he calls it a day. So
round 9 for Stafford. Let me just remind you the value.
I know he's around 9. I mean, he's on the list of people I'm considering to keep, but I think it all depends what happens with him after this season.
Okay.
After that, I don't know.
Yeah. And
I
you
don't
don't
know,
have
it's
to
tough.
keep anybody if you don't want to, too.
I know I don't have to keep everybody, but I mean, maybe the only other contender would be a Chris Olave, who had a great season. Actually, he
That's
wound
a
up
good- that's a
becoming
good
sort of
one.
a sleeper hit for me this year. I mean, I'd say I didn't expect as much out of him as I got. I got a lot more out of him than I thought I would get this
Especially
season.
down the stretch.
Yeah.
And depending on what happens in New Orleans next year, if they're going to go or they're going to try to get a QB, I don't know. I like what I saw this year, so he might be somebody I would consider keeping too. So I think he'd be on my keeper list. So right now, I'd say my keeper list consists of Stafford and Olave, knowing that I'm not going to be able to really keep Chase this season after the season.
What about
So
you,
that's kind of
Kev?
where I'm at.
I have a laundry list of them. It's tough for me. JSN's there, and none of them that I drafted. So I'd have
Yeah.
to see on ADP and whatnot. So JSN, Purdy, and there was one more I had on my thoughts. Marion Hampton.
Oh, Marion Hampton. Yeah,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
those are probably my 3.
And actually, I might actually add Brenton Strange to that list too.
Very good, very good. For me, I think I'd probably stick with T. Higgins, round 3. That's probably maybe one of the better players that I ended up with on the season. It wasn't outstanding, but it was still pretty decent. So yeah, given the rest of my team, I think maybe I stick with T Higgins.
I get you. That makes sense.
That's a good one. Yeah. That makes sense.
Well, I guess we gotta have to also see when we gotta get these rule talks down and that figured out. That'll definitely determine.
Yes, absolutely. We're gonna have a whole get this all sorted out.
Yeah, get a couple rules written down that we need to just clarify.
Yeah, I think that'd be good because I'd like to have that. That way, we're all ready to go for the draft, and we're not still questioning things, and it's just like it's all done.
We forget ratified. Because we change a lot through here. We discuss stuff throughout the year, and people are like, "Oh yeah, let's do this," and so we wind up, going through a lot of changes.
Yeah. Well, what we really need to do is get everything written down and put it in a Google Doc, so then everybody can access it and reread the rules, and everybody has 100%. It, and we're all on the same page with it. So.
Yeah,
I agree.
Definitely.
Let us know how you guys do it. We'd love to hear from you. How do you guys keep track of your rules? How do you make that transparent to the league? We'd love to know. We're looking for ideas. We want to make sure it's fun and fair for everybody.
I like evolving this league, keeping it up with times too, not staying with old things and
outdated stuff.
Keep it fresh. See what type of trends are out there, what other leagues are doing, and maybe if it's fun for us, then we do it or not.
Yeah, fun and interesting.
Yeah.
So
good stuff.
Definitely.
All right, everybody. Well, that wraps it up, I say, with the touchdown talk. Guys, Pablo, excellent season. Kevin, thanks for coming on. Another great season of touchdown talk in the books. I got to tell you, this season has been a lot of fun. The show has definitely evolved from Pablo and I just kind of going on and doing this in our Facebook groups for each league. And it's actually become a little bit of a thing now.
Becoming a little bit of a fantasy show.
Yeah, it's become a little bit of a fantasy show. We're here live now on Facebook, on YouTube, of course, Radio Garden State. We have a podcast feed, so you can listen to everything anytime you want. So this has been a really cool year for the show, growing. So looking forward to keeping it going next year. We even went on earlier this year too, so that'll be something we'll look to start doing. We'll go on before our draft. We'll start getting people ready, talk about draft picks, potentials, all that, helping you guys determine your draft and who you want to go for. And then, of course, we'll cover our draft and then do the whole season again as we've been doing. So we're really looking forward to the 2026-2027 season of the Touchdown Talk with all of you guys. Want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you for listening. Thanks for following us. You can follow us over at the Touchdown Talk on Facebook. And we're also on Instagram as well. We did even start up an Instagram account too, the Touchdown Talk NJ, if you'd like to follow us there. We'd appreciate a follow, and we'll try to stay communicative through the off season here through posting and all that stuff. But Pablo,
start tips in there.
Yeah, Pablo, my awesome co-host, partner in crime. Any final words for the people out there?
Well, shout out to Josh too. He joined us several weeks on
shout
the
out
show.
to Josh.
It was a lot of fun. And no, this has been great. 2025 was fantastic. Thank you everybody for joining us, and thanks Kevin for jumping on so often. This is really much more dynamic this way. A lot of fun to hang out and talk some football. So it's been great.
Some of our shows, man.
Yeah. Looking forward to 2026. Let's take this off season to think about what we want to change, what we want to talk about more, and have 2026 be the best season yet.
Definitely.
Absolutely. I'm coming for that title again, buddy.
Let's go. I welcome all.
I'm coming for all the titles. I'm going to do two. I'm going to win the dirt next year, and I'm winning this league.
Bold prediction.
I'm taking them both.
That's the way to look at it. Yeah, that's definitely the way that you have to have a big talk game. You have to.
That's right. All right, guys. Well, hey, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in a few months back here on YouTube and Facebook, and of course, Radio Garden State. Everybody have a great season. Good luck to you if you're in a Week 18 league like our friend here. Hopefully you win your championship.
Let us know on Instagram.
Yeah, let us know. Keep us up to date. Follow us, Instagram, Facebook, all the places, guys. We appreciate you. Have a good 2026, and we'll see you in the summer.
See you guys.
Cheers.